Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk about what's next. There are two monsoon surges lined up for this week of two different intensities, and there'll be a separation in between. So I'll be looking at both of those. I covered the LT100 mountain bike race, which actually happened yesterday, 8:13. I'm going to look ahead to the Leadville Trail 100 run, which actually happens on Saturday, 8:20. So I'll do a forecast for that. The bottom line is, from here on out, afternoon thunderstorms are likely. There will be some days where they come in fast and early and last well into the night, and I'll look at those days coming up. So those are my headlines. The first surge, which is medium in intensity, comes 8:14 to 8:17. Then there's a separation of 1 to 2 days of kind of like a drier pocket. And then the second surge, which is much smaller, comes in 8:20 to 8:21. All right, so let's look at the current situation. So this is water vapor satellite, and on this, the oranges and the reds represent drier air aloft. So I've been tracking the movement of this high, and this is absolutely critical to monsoon season, wherever this high is sitting. And right now, it's sitting over southeast Colorado, panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas. What that does is it opens the door with southerly winds just to the west. So now we're starting to see that flow come into Colorado. This is the surge flow right here. And it's been brushing Vegas. You probably heard about that with flash flooding. And it's also running up through Utah and up into Wyoming and kind of clipping eastern Idaho. Well, the whole thing is going to swing across Colorado. That's the plume. That's the moisture-enriched air, higher dew point air that feeds and fuels showers and thunderstorms, making them more likely. They may develop earlier than noon. They may last later into the night. Let me show you what I did with my blog post. My forecast is on here. christomer.com blog is the section. So I talk about the surge this week. And I always do a Tomer's Take summary at the top. Two surges. I talked about the two different ones, the dates, the impact, and why it's important to kind of look at this kind of stuff when you're doing big events in the mountains. This is all very Colorado-centric. So I also looked at the current setup. I've got a water vapor satellite loop, same one I just showed you. It's on here if you want to look at that. So then I look at the forecast. This is specific for the Mount Elbert, Mount Massive zone, that stretch of distance where these races are taking place. And notice the surge between 8:14, 8:15, and 8:16, even into 8:17. There are chances of rain and storms earlier than noon. A lot of these come in 10, 11 o'clock in the morning in some cases. And then there's high chances in the afternoon of getting nailed in these zones with a thunderstorm or rain. Maybe even multiple lines. Could be more than one thunderstorm on these days. That's the nature of the surge. Then there are two drier days. On 8:18 and 8:19, the percentages drop down because the plume swings away and we're essentially in a waiting game for the next plume to come in. So 8:18 and 8:19 are a little drier in that Sawatch zone that we're talking about. Then the next surge, there's a small one that comes through 8:20, 8:21. And it's smaller. I don't think the chances in the mornings are high for precip. The storms could start a little bit before noon. They may move in fast, but we're looking at 80 to 90% chances in the afternoon. So then I broke it out. And here's a specific forecast for 8:20 if you want to take a look at that and how the percentages start to go up fast once we get past 10 o'clock in the morning. And they may last through the evening. There may be 2 or 3 different thunderstorms over Lake County. And then I did a bonus for Long's Peak. I know a lot of people are climbing Longs. So I plotted that all the way out with a forecast through 8:21, and there are some high days during the surge, but a lot of dry mornings as well with opportunity. And then I looked at total precipitation. So if you were to look at this on here, really broke it down. Really, it's I-70 south where most of this moisture is going to occur, where the surge impacts because that's the source region. It's coming from the south. There are some areas in here, if you were to look at this, that could potentially go 3.5 inches over the San Juans. If that happens, we're looking at flash flooding. I know Black Bear Pass is closed, or it was, for some mudslides. Same thing could happen. You know, this is a lot of rain in case you get hit with one thunderstorm and it could drop an inch of rain in 40 minutes. this is what we're going to see with these surges. That's the kind of potential I'm talking about, the intensity, lots of rain in a short amount of time. So that's what we're looking at through that time frame. Let me show you what this could look like according to the GFS model. So here we are as we roll into the 15th. There's the morning of the 15th, dry over most of Colorado, but look at that. Showers and storms, the green, develop very fast, and this is what I'm talking about with earlier than noon scenarios and percentages in the morning. These storms on Monday, the 15th, could come in 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then they're in, we're talking about some deep thunderstorms into the afternoon, evening hours. Here's the morning of the 16th. There's still a little bit of green, a couple speckles, so we could be seeing an early start on the 16th. It's there by 10, 11 o'clock. And again, some thunderstorms diving south. And then on the 17th, there's the morning of the 17th, probably dry, but we could have some early development, especially in the southern mountains. And that's where a lot of the emphasis is on the 17th, all south of I-70 in the southern mountains. And then a couple of drier days on the 18th. Notice there's not a lot there, nor on the 19th. There's the 19th. There's a little bit of moisture western, southwest Colorado, but not nearly as much. And then some in the afternoon, and it starts to return. Here comes the next plume. Here's the morning of the 20th. It's dirty. This is race morning. Notice there's a slight chance of things happening before noon, and then things really get going in the afternoon. Here's the afternoon of the 20th. Showers, thunderstorms likely. And that night into the 21st, we may have some residual moisture and an early start on the 21st as well. So that's a scenario at this point. As far as anything beyond that, it looks like it could start to dry out beyond the 21st. I know I'm working with a couple of people on some forecasts beyond this. It looks like the monsoon may start to drop down in intensity after the 21st. Like, it may still be present, but the intensity may drop way down after the 21st. So that's a long way out, but just a heads up on that. So there you go. Always appreciate you guys tuning in here. I'll probably do an update again tomorrow. Take care.